We are live. It's the top of the table clash, a potential title decider.
Absolutely.
Two favorites, Manchester City and Liverpool, lock horns tonight in the biggest clash of them all.
Absolutely.
Shane, are you excited by this game?
Yeah, I would have been more excited if either one of our clubs were there, but since we don't, the bright side is...
My club is 7th.
Yeah, mine is
7th. They lost to Everton last night.
Yeah.
So let's not get there. But yes, this game. This is
very excited about, because both teams are by some margins the best teams in England, play very consistent brands of football, and they know how to win. So this is a case of the what is that saying, the immovable force meeting the whatever object. It's that, I have forgotten the saying, I'm very sorry, but you get my point. The clash of the titans, it's a bit cliche, but that's very true when you look at how dominant these two clubs have been in English football in recent seasons.
By the way, if you guys don't know, these two teams are currently separated by just 1 point. Manchester City are top of the table right now with 73 points in the league from 30 games. Liverpool have played the same number of games and they are on 72 points. So it's that close for a title race. We talked about how the race for the top 4 is heating up, and there are so many teams that can get into that top 4 if they play well. But right now, this is the game we want to talk about, because as we say, they're the most dominant teams in England for the last 3 years, you'd say?
Definitely, at least for the past 3-4 years, these two teams have been contesting.
Actually, 4 years. Liverpool won the Champions League also in 2018.
Yes,
so yeah, City under Pep Guardiola have become a different sort of force. And by the way, they are coming to this game on an 8-game unbeaten run.
Yeah, that is actually quite impressive when you think about it, because we know that Pep's teams are hard enough to beat even when they're down on form, but when they're in full force playing with the kind of players that they do, they're very hard to stop, as Atletico Madrid would probably attest to. Tried their hardest to stop them, but they can bring someone like Phil Foden off the bench. How many clubs can bring a Phil Foden off the bench?
That is also true. Both teams that way possess quite a bit of quality on their bench as well.
Absolutely.
Including if we talk about formations. And first, let's talk about just injuries. I think so Liverpool have got almost everyone available,
which is a rarity for a Jurgen Klopp side.
Yeah, so everyone's available. They're gonna field their best 11, boss. City have lost one of their guys who's not going to be there, an important player for them, Ruben Diaz, who hasn't played the last few games also, but in his absence, Aymeric Laporte and John Stones both have done
pretty well.
The centre back player.
Again, that's another case of depth, because Ruben Diaz, when he was signed, was like a game changer signing for them.
Yeah.
But Laporte and Stones are not exactly some sort of a mug. They're not mugs in that defense. They're very good players. In fact, if you put John Stones in a mid-table side, he's starting every game every week. But here he's having
a mid-table side, but here he is at City.
Here he's at City, and he's very happy, because at one point, people thought his career was going downhill, but he's really experienced an upturn in form in recent
from Everton to City. It's been quite a journey for him. Of course, if people don't know, he still plays for England regularly.
Regularly.
And right now he's got that opportunity. And for City, you can understand how good their bench strength is to call upon somebody like John Stones
as a second choice,
who is his country's first choice centre back. So that is very different, and that is how much quality City possess. But on the other hand, Liverpool also have similar kind of quality, you'd say.
Absolutely, because you look at that Liverpool side, and previously I think arguably the only weak link that you could pick in their team was that maybe the midfield, little too workmanlike, a lot of hard workers, not enough flair. Then they go right ahead and sign Thiago. So
Thiago Alcantara.
And that man is someone who knows how to conduct games.
Who probably still hasn't been so good for them. And yet he's so key. He's now a regular in the side. And they've got people like Fabinho is there, Jordan Henderson is there. Yeah. The midfield is solid, but it's the front three. Because for me, the midfield game, City wins.
Absolutely,
because they've got the best midfielder in the world.
They have someone like De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, who's been in great form. Again, scored against Burnley, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
So he's been in good goal scoring form. Scored that crucial goal against Atletico Madrid that gave them that 1-0 victory. But for Liverpool, who do you think will start? Diogo Jota, or do you think they're going to go with somebody like a Sadio Mane?
It's very interesting, because normally you'd think, okay, if Mane is out, and that's the thing with Jota, is that he's someone who can slot in effortlessly anywhere on that forward line. Then out of nowhere they just go and hijack Tottenham's move for Luis Diaz, and this guy's proving the same.
Boss, I have to say this, and because this coming from a Manchester United fan, their scouting has unbelievably been so good. All the players they have got, even players like Konate, even players for that matter like Luis Diaz, who nobody knew much about, but you get him from Porto and suddenly he's a regular in your side. Imagine that Diogo Jota at Wolves was scoring goals, but nobody could understand, nobody could think of Jota becoming a centre forward for Liverpool and then scoring goals almost every second game at least.
It's also worth noting that when he was at Wolves, he would often end up playing second fiddle to both Adama Traore and Raul Jimenez. This guy's come to Liverpool and suddenly he's banging in goals for fun. So it's like, their scouting is very, very strong. They know how to pick out forwards who'll fit their style of play. And that's the thing, every single one of them is interchangeable. So it's very, very hard to just say, Salah will start on the right, but Salah can start centrally too. Mane will start on the left, he could start centrally too.
Yeah, because I think I'm not sure who's going to start among Jota and Mane. But Luis Diaz on the left will for sure start for me. And Salah on the right, we know. Yeah. Salah though hasn't scored quite a lot of goals in recent times. But it has to be said that the quality is like way up there.
Even he did score a goal even in the international break when they were beat.
They lost.
They lost. My bad. They lost.
The penalty.
Yes, of course. I remember that game only for the lasers. But look, Mane, Salah, Mane, etc. might just go through little lapses of form. But class is permanent. You can't hold these guys down too long. It's just not possible.
True. Danish Aftab says Man City all the way will be one hell of a match.
It will be one hell of a match for sure. I don't know about a prediction because this one is too close to call, honestly. And it kind of harkens back to 2018-19, the year when Liverpool won the Champions League and City won the Premier League by the skin of their teeth. There was one game where I think they had eked out a draw. And in the end, it came down to the fact that they lost the title by 1 point.
Yeah.
So if Liverpool had won that game, they might just have won the title a year before they actually ended their jinx. So I expect a similarly close encounter today, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's also been such a close title race. If you guys don't know, City have sort of, at one point they were cruising, boss. They were the runaway leaders. Liverpool were also far behind them. At one point, City had an 8-point lead.
Yeah, now it's down to just 1 point.
8-point lead, which became 14 points, by the way, with 2 games in hand when Liverpool weren't playing. I think so. They were playing some other tournament at that time. So City,
they had a few matches cancelled.
Imagine 14 points lead at the top.
1 point.
But 2 games in hand. So let's just say it's 8 points lead. And then you look at Liverpool coming back. 2 draws and 1 defeat? That 1 defeat against Tottenham.
Yeah.
That 3-2 loss. Well, by the way, that game, if you guys remember, was amazing to watch for a neutral like me.
Absolutely.
Loved it. And because Tottenham were not a big part of the title race, I was just happy to see them beat City because noisy neighbours. So that's there. But okay, what's your prediction for this game?
I honestly don't know. If it were up to me, I'd say this is going to be a score draw. So probably a 1-1 or a 2-2. That's what I think.
1-1 or a 2-2. That's boring. A draw is a boring thing.
But the thing is,
I really want this game to decide the title. That is how they both should play. Because, by the way, 30 games both of them have played. They've only got 8 games to go in the season. 8 games, out of which 1 is this game, and this game might end up deciding the title if they win the remaining 7 fixtures also. And it can happen with the quality these two sides possess. If they don't win the 7 games, then you'll be like, and they play like Liverpool at least plays United. They'll beat us with the kind of form we have been in. We are losing to their Merseyside neighbours, Everton. So unfortunate. Sanket Joshi says that for him, the front 3 for Liverpool will be Diaz, Mane, and Salah.
I think it could very well be that. It could very well be that.
I think that is how Jurgen Klopp will also line them up. The only change that could have happened is like Salah, because Firmino might have a niggle.
I think he's.
That's the only sort of fitness issue that Liverpool have, but still he might be there on the bench. But Mane or Jota, irrespective of that, the quality is there.
The quality is there. I mean, they're front
it's the wing backs also. If you have to say, their left back and right back make a huge difference.
Their wing backs play like midfielders. There's that much creativity there. Trent, Robertson. Oof.
Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson combined are a force.
And
Like-
the funny part is both of them are like they were signed for practically nothing. Trent is an academy graduate, and Robertson I think was signed for 5 million from Hull
Very,
City.
very cheap, guys. 5 million. 5 million for.
Who did Robertson play
Robertson.
alongside at that particular Hull City team?
I.
Harry Maguire.
Oh.
There's a very popular picture of them both there.
Having fun. And now at the opposite side of the spectrum, if you'd call it. The different side of Reds, by the way.
And-
the Liverpool Reds and the Red Devils on the other side. But yes, City, for me, are the favourites to win this game. But I'm going to back Liverpool.
Liverpool have not lost a single of their last 5 Premier League games. They're in flying form right now, honestly.
It's difficult, boss. If with their defense, with Virgil van Dijk
Playing at his
being
fittest,
there,
yeah.
Konate being there, Matip, everybody, whoever is
Don't
coming.
forget Alisson. That man.
Alisson,
Oh.
I keep forgetting at times. It's the goalkeeper we don't give a lot of credit to, but
what a-
Alisson and Ederson both are amazing.
The funny part is, by the way, both of them are really good friends. If you've read, there was an interview by Edison where he said that when he came to City, because obviously Manchester and Liverpool are very close by geographically, he got a lot of help from Alisson when it came to settling in the town. Both of them are very good friends because, of course, Brazil teammates also. So, you know, that does help.
So yes, you said a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. It'll
By the
be
way-
fun. A 2-1 game would be fun, and maybe like one goal, that winning goal coming towards the end.
The end, that would be really good. Just also an FYI that our predictions for football have been way off till this point. We thought Manchester United would easily beat Everton, didn't happen. We thought Southampton.
No, I never thought the way we have been playing. I kept saying we should be beating Everton, but
we didn't.
we might not.
And Southampton,
that's
we
what
thought to
happened.
present a test for Chelsea. Chelsea
I
knocked
thought
six. Even I thought so.
I thought Southampton are not going to lose 6-0 at least.
Timo
boss.
Werner scored 2 goals, hit the post twice.
Werner scoring
He
goals.
hit the
is-
post twice. I mean, thrice. Sorry,
anomalies happening. So many anomalies.
Thrice actually.
I had Mason Mount, by the way.
Oh, in your
my
team.
fantasy.
Good pick always. Very good pick.
Mason Mount, a great midfielder.
I know.
So yeah,
But the focus today is going to be it's all eyes on this.
you know the funny
game.
thing for me is Liverpool. See, if they win the title, they're gonna level it up with Manchester United 20 each.
Ooh, 20 each. Yes.
That is why I don't want them to win. But because City are our neighbors, it's like choosing the lesser of the two evils.
Which is the lesser of the two
for
evils?
For me, and I don't know. I think Liverpool. My heart says Liverpool are gonna edge this game and win it and take the lead in the league. But maybe if City wins, it's not gonna be such a bad thing because
You know, I think
let's not get them to 20, boss.
another thing which will be worth waiting and watching for is that the manager of City, a certain Mr. Pep Guardiola, does have a habit of tinkering around and making some interesting changes. Will he do anything of that sort? If he does, you know, there's going to be a game of two extremes. Then either City will romp it or they'll lose, and then there'll be all the tactics for it. As we know, Pep has that habit of quote unquote overthinking it. But let's wait and watch.
But it's gonna be a fun game.
It's going to be an absolute cracker. I
For
can't
a
wait.
neutral, we can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely, and we will be joining you after the game ends
To
give
discuss-
you
to
for
discuss
sure,
what
because
has happened.
This match, as we say, it's potentially a title.
But
decider.
it might sort of coincide with our IPL lives. So
with,
we'll
the way,
see.
with the way
We'll
the
see.
overheads go, I think we'll manage.
We'll see. We'll still come.
We'll still try our best. Absolutely.
and discuss this game, whatever
Yeah.
happens, because that'll be more fun than this. Because right now we don't know what will happen.
absolutely
Then we'll
have no
have
idea.
so many more talking points. So thank you
Absolutely.
for watching, and we'll be back after this game gets over to give you an update and discuss